Hi there, welcome. Now we have to talk about in the tarot the Wheel of Fortune, or what I see now on the newer cards they just call the Wheel. I think this is one of the cards that is misread the most or misunderstood the most within the entire tarot deck, and this isn't discounting cards like Death or the Tower or such, which has got a very negative connotation because of Hollywood and such. But this is a card that's misunderstood because of the phrase the Wheel of Fortune. And people think when they draw this card, it's just going to be fortune and riches and everything that's good. And that is actually very little about what this card is about. Now, first of all, we need to look at the keywords here. And you'll see a picture of mine up here as well, and that's from my personal deck, which is available for pre-order as well. And it's not the final imagery, but it gives you a base idea of what it's going to look like, and it's going to come in this beautiful wooden box, and I can't actually wait to share it with all of you and to show it. But getting back to the cards, the wheel doesn't just bring fortune. When we start looking at the keywords, we hear the phrases coming full circle, reaping rewards, harvest, prosperity, yes, and then completing the circle. Now, when we look at the original description, when we look at what the card originally looks like, in traditional tarot imagery, it has a woman dressed in fine robes, entertaining herself with the turn of a wheel. Figures of animals or men ride the wheel, symbolizing the cyclical state of man. I will reign, I reign, I have reigned, and I'm without. And that's the key when it comes to reading this card. Now, let's have a look at some of the tarot imagery. And I'm actually going to start with the Witch's Tarot with this one. And it shows just this wheel made out of gold with the pentacle in the middle that's made out of some silver. And we've got the sword, the staff, or wand. We've got the pentacle, we've got the cup, we've got the four tarot suits, and the four seasons. And it's very important to remember about the seasons that's represented in the card, because the seasons represent the seasons of life itself. This is very much a completion card. It is where we're at number 10. We're halfway through our major arcana journey here. And it's important to remember that even in the middle, there should be a bit of a conclusion happening. Here we've got the Wheel of Fortune. We can see the woman sitting there as a young girl as well as an old lady. We're seeing the wheel as a spin wheel here, very similar to the one that I have created for my tarot deck as well. That's a bit more of a modern take to it. It's a take that I really love, is working with the spinning wheel. When we look at Morgan Greer, we see this divine hand turning this wheel, and we see some of them sitting there at the top, this king and queen, and they're celebrating and they're wearing purples and burgundies. And we see somebody falling here, and it looks like it could be a fool. The man from the Fool card falling down here, but they are celebrating because they're at the top of the wheel. Then we've got this very modern one, and this one's very interesting because around her neck she has some dice, and it's showing the number 6 and 4, which is 10, and then it shows all of the different wheels that she's balancing on. Then lastly, we have this one. Now around her neck she wears the Wheel of the Year, which again shows all of the different seasons, but she's also drawing a wheel, a circle in the sand, and it's not quite complete, but she's about to complete that circle that she's drawing in the sand. So as you can see, it is a very diverse card, and we see it in the different decks, how each and every one of them shows them in such a uniquely different way, but still having all of the symbology that we need when we look at the different seasons, and we see that throughout more than one card. One showing her as a young girl and as an old woman, almost like ghostly figures. It's this ghost of past, present, and future vibes that we're getting there. And yeah, let's just dig into this card, because let's start explaining it. So the Wheel of Fortune represents the spinning wheel of life. It symbolizes good luck and good fortune, prosperity, abundance, and success, as well as destiny, fate, chance, and probability. The card can also represent motion, evolution, and the cycles of life. And that's what this is about. This card pops up when we have completed or are about to complete a certain cycle in life. It pops up warning us that, gosh, you're going to repeat a cycle that you've already done within your life. It's a card that reminds us that for every situation in life, there's a beginning, there's a journey, and there is a destination. But as we get to the destination, it's not necessarily the end, because the wheel is ever turning, it's ever going, and we need to get back on that wheel. The ending becomes the new beginning to the new journey, towards the new destination. Now, the card is usually haunted by mythical creatures that is no longer. In the traditional ones, we see that it's a graphic reminder that despite the pain of growing older, the truly lucky ones among us do get to experience three phases of life. Woman can be maiden, mother, and crone, whereas men are usually the soldier, the father, or the sage, or the lover, hunter, sage. It's also a reminder that while our bodies age, our spirit is timeless, and we can always feel young inside. And that's where the biggest misconception with this card comes in, is that fortune part. This card doesn't speak about money or success in your job. It's all about, we just in the previous card, we spoke about the hermit, introspection and such. This is where the introspection is done on this level, for this wheel, for this cycle of your life. And it's saying, look at how much you've learned, look at how much you've grown, look at the abundance that is you, rather than an abundance coming from the outside. All of this is very much from the inside as well. So the Wheel of Fortune also has 8 spokes, just like the solar wheel of the year. And when we start looking at that, we started, so when we go into Yule, which is the birth, we work all the way through Beltane, which is the success, the fertility, the riches. We go into the harvest months, and we end again at Samhain, which is the Day of the Dead. It's the death, it's the ending, it's the beginning of winter, and so it starts again and again and again. It is that constant phase that we're in of beginning, middle, end. And that's what this card is about. It's saying that your wheel is almost done. I love seeing this card as well, and seeing how one is falling where a lot of them are sitting at top. And that is actually the same person that's sitting up here, because sometimes we need to fall down in order to raise up to the top. And sometimes we need hard work, and we need introspection to be able to spin the straw into gold, because that's what we are given. We're given straw. We're given all of that, and we need to turn that into lessons. We need to turn that into life lessons. We need to grow from there. We need to become the best us that we can possibly be from there. Now, each spoke, obviously on the wheel, there's 8 of them, represents a rite of passage, and it shows the passages of life as a whole as well. And it says, sometimes this card just says, you've gotten to the next spoke. This is things like a graduation, a first job, a marriage, a pregnancy, a divorce. It doesn't necessarily need to be perceived as a positive, but it is a very important stepping stone on your journey. Now, in most tarot readings, the Wheel of Fortune is a good omen, because it portends a turn for the better, a turn that says this cycle has ended. Does it mean that the next cycle will be without hardships? No, no. But it says that you've accomplished something. You are at the end of something. You have realized something. And that is the beauty of the Wheel of the Year. Now, thank you guys so much. And I'm going to be back with justice very soon. Bye.